week, the campaign period for the May 2013 elections will take off. How different is this elections? What will make a candidate win? His party affiliation or personal track record? Joining us tonight live on News Life is Ms. Malu Tikia, respected political analyst. Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, Angel.
Different is this midterm elections from that of 2007? Because if we remember then, it was UNO versus Team Unity, and in this election, it's Team Pinoy versus UNA. So if we try to look at it, UNA is not so critical of the president, and in fact, many of them are supporters of his administration. Is there really an opposition?
Well, initially I thought there would be, but it turns out that UNA and Team Pinoy is like the same party. UNA, on the other hand, is trying to distinguish itself with Team Pinoy, especially with the rebranding of the LP, NPC, NP slate. So we would probably see some defining messaging coming from UNA, so that they could contrast themselves with Team Pinoy. You see, with the rebranding strategy of LP, NP, NPC, you would see that this is a party that will carry the track record accomplishment of the incumbent.
So, ma'am, how do you see UNA distinguishing themselves apart from Team Pinoy? What will separate them from?
Well, we've seen the initial group ads of both slates, and you would see that for them, what UNA is presenting is it can do the programs a lot better. It has very specific programs per sector. On the other hand, Team Pinoy relies really on the branding of the president, relies on the accomplishment of the president, and you have here the president really making the case for the LP, NP, NPC slate.
With that, ma'am, what is your reading of the outcome? Who has the numbers for the Senate?
Well, if you take a look at the latest SWS Business World Survey, you would see that in the top 12, there is no LP. You would see most UNA and some independents are there. So it will be very, very critical for the Team Pinoy slate to really run a much better campaign compared to UNA.
Why is this so, ma'am? How do you see Team Pinoy running against UNA with that, having the figures?
Well, Team Pinoy has the advantage because it has the machinery of government, it has of government. It is the incumbent, so the power of the incumbency is very strong there. On the other hand, UNA is very strategic in its decision. Apart from being strategic, even the composition of the slate is very strategic. You would also see very defined messages coming from them. So the way they will run, including the kick-off, where they will have the kick-off, one is having it in Cebu, the other one is Manila. If you ask the Cebuanos, they'd say, oh, that's imperialist Manila. If you'd say the Manileños, they'd say it's the capital of the country. But those two provinces reflect the dynamics of economic growth in our country.
Yes.
One is the center, and the other one really is another center of the country, which was promoted independent of the country.
Now, ma'am, how important do you think is the support of local candidates for these running for Senate?
Well, the first 45 days really will be defining in terms of messaging. There'd be not so much assistance coming from the local. They'd be on their own trying to grab the attention of the voters. When it comes to the second half, the second 45 days, you would see a lot of alliances being built, and really the machinery of government will come in the second 45 days.
Yes, and also, ma'am, not just in areas of concern, dynasties is also a major issue right now. How should we educate our people on this issue?
I think you will see that this is a very, well, it's not really reached, it has not really reached the tipping point, but you see a lot of people scrutinizing candidates. There's talk about new faces, new names, track records of incumbents, performance. So I think this would be really a threshold in our political maturity, because I think there's a possibility, slim as it may seem, for new faces and new names to come in the top 12.
So, ma'am, do you think this year, with our voters this year, you think are they more after the track record of the candidate, or they still care about the party affiliation?
Party affiliation is really not important. It's just that with the rebranding of LP, NP, CNP, the president with a very, very high political capital is using it and to carry. It's essentially the president with the long coat tail telling his teammates to hang on, and I will ensure that you'll be able to get into the top 12. On the other side, they are probably offering a different agenda, redefining the national agenda, and probably identifying each candidate as champions of sectoral issues.
Just another question, ma'am. What is your take on those candidates who are openly campaigning this early?
Well, technically, there is no early campaigning in our Omnibus Election Code. It has been written out. But there are candidates who are complying with our law, and there are voters who have been saying that, early campaigning, whether it's legal or not, it's too. I think we will see that in the 90-day campaign period, whether those who campaigned earlier would actually drop in the rankings.
So now, ma'am, we are counting days before the official campaign period starts, and we also had the mock elections last weekend. Final word from you, ma'am.
Well, to the voters out there, please continue looking into the records of candidates, looking at their personal backgrounds, trying to determine what would be a good complement of 12 to be your champions in the 16th Senate.
All right, thank you very much, ma'am, for joining us tonight on News Live. That was Ms. Malu Tikia, one of the country's top political analysts.